Good afternoon, friends. Come on in, join me. Today we're going to have our live Q&A session. Come on in, say hello, say freedom now. I hope you guys had a terrific weekend. And happy Father's Day for all the fathers in the house. Come on in, say hello, and let me know where you're joining me from today. For those of you who are new to me, welcome. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law, where we believe that freedom is now, freedom is not tomorrow, freedom is not next week, although for some people, literally, maybe freedom will be tomorrow, depending on what happens at the White House, okay? Freedom now, come on in. Hey, friends, I see you're on. Hey there, Leah. Thanks for being with me from Texas. Tell me where you're joining from, friends. Hey there, Symphony. Freedom now, Arthur. Jose says, good morning. Where are you today, Jose? It's afternoon where I am in New York. Hey there, Anik from Miami. Good to see some familiar friends and faces. Hey there, Charmaine. Hey there, Dee. Thanks for being with us. Freedom now. Friends, thank you for staying plugged in. Okay, staying plugged in with everything. Hey, morning from Alaska. Good to see you. Thanks for joining from Alaska, Zion Woman. All right. Hey, Austin. So guys, say where you're watching from and certainly type in freedom now. For those of you who have been following the latest, as I've been sharing, and other attorneys and the news, CBS News, New York Times, everyone has been talking about the much anticipated, guys. Let me go ahead and do this while you're jumping on the much anticipated news about the fact that President Biden, okay, I'm going to shift it here. President Biden is gearing up to provide some immigration relief to spouses of U.S. citizens, potentially DACA holders as well, recipients, and potentially to some other undocumented immigrants, okay? I have not gone into a great deal of details about how this would impact other people because I'm waiting, just like everyone else, to see what these waivers are, who the waivers apply to, and all of that. So, but what we do know most assuredly is that there is a parole in place option that is being that has been created for spouses of U.S. citizens. So if you have not followed the latest developments, go back, watch my last maybe 3 or 4 videos on McBean Immigration TV to get caught up on this issue, and certainly read the news for yourself, okay? Freedom Now from North Carolina, San Francisco's in the house, New York, Staten Island. Hey there, Amina from Seattle, Washington. All right. So today, and I see that also my colleague Sonia is back in the comments. She's going to help us today with moderating some of this for us. Okay, so she has our phone number, our office number. Call us at McBean Law at 888-462-4006, or go on our website and request an appointment with an attorney. Every case at our firm begins with an attorney meeting so that we could know what the problems are and what potential strategies you have to move your case forward. Hey, Amy. Amy says, amen. All right. I see that Florida is also in the house, Pennsylvania. Also, friends, if you have not yet subscribed to our firm's newsletter, go ahead, subscribe, mcbeanlaw.com/subscribe, and get our weekly news, our Q&As, our good news stories, our blogs, and some other great materials that we share every week to our subscribers. This is the #1 immigration newsletter, and so we want you guys not to miss out on all of the good stuff. Now, we're going to go into our questions. By the way, I have seen a lot of questions over the last few days about the Biden parole in place, and we have already organized your questions, okay? Like the top 25 questions that we've gotten, we've already prepared. We're preparing to do a live session addressing those top 25 questions, but I will do this after the Biden proposal actually comes out. Okay, so after it's announced tomorrow, if it still goes through, then I will do another live session with you guys, maybe tomorrow, going through your top 25 questions and maybe taking additional questions from you. So stay tuned. So today we're going to focus on the usual stuff, okay? Let me see some immigration questions and let's get going, all right? Thank you, thank you. And I don't take kindly to the fact that you get if anyone gets aggressive in their tone in the comments, believe me, I will ignore your comments. So anything about, well, you're not answering my questions, you didn't answer the last 2 times, trust me, I will not answer it again today. So let's be polite. Let's be polite, and let's do this in order. Thank you. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. If you'd like to go deeper about your case, your problem, have an appointment with an attorney, okay? Freedom now. So Malik is asking about Dreamers with immigration reform. Malik, what we know so far only is that part of this plan that folks are discussing, it could help Dreamers. It would allow potentially them to be able to apply for certain work visas, like maybe the H-1B or the O or another type of visa, and apply for a waiver to leave the United States and go overseas to be interviewed at a U.S. embassy abroad. So that's all that we know so far that could really help Dreamers. But again, I haven't seen anything in writing, and I'm waiting on that in order to really go deeper with you. Someone says that the sound is breaking down on and off. Really? Sound is bad, guys? Is the audio bad? Let me know if the audio continues to be bad. And Sonia, let me know as well what's going on. I'm going to get into Teams so that I could chat with you. So let me know if there's problems with the audio, okay? All right, let's keep going. Thank you for letting me know, Ruchi. I appreciate that. Kentucky's in the house. Brazil is in the house. Freedom now, freedom now. Orlando is in the house. Someone said, Helen is asking, why does the USA do everything in a piecemeal with delays always? You're talking about a divided Congress. You're talking about a lot of bad blood with politics. There's immigration reform. Comprehensive immigration reform is something that Joe Biden promised as a day one priority, and we have not seen that as day one priority. Sonia says that the audio is fine now. Thank you. So you've got it, this is America, complex Congress, very different political views, and Congress cannot get anything done these days, and they have not been able to do anything comprehensive around immigration in a significantly long time, and it has to do with politics. Things are slow because of bureaucracy, right? Whether you're here in the US or another country, there's bureaucracy. Freedom now, freedom now. So again, any questions about the Biden plan, I'm going to address in a separate live tomorrow after President Biden makes the announcement. Okay, thank you. So just reserve those questions for that live session. Okay, so someone is asking a question about naturalization, about when is the right time to file for naturalization. Married for almost 3 years. I just got my 10 years green card. Can I file for citizenship immediately? Well, no, you'll have to wait for, you'll have to be a resident for 2.9 years. And at that point, you'll be eligible to apply for naturalization early through marriage. If you're still in a very strong, good relationship with your wife, you'll be able to do it then. Congratulations on getting your 10-year green card. But again, you'll have to wait 2.9 years as a permanent resident before you're able to do that. Thank you. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. Someone says that this is to Sonia. I sent an email. I'm waiting for a reply. If you've sent an email to our office, Please note that the rest of our team, we have the team set up to be able to respond to your emails. And typically the response would be helping you to book a consultation with us, okay? We can be reached by email, guys, at info@mcbeanlaw.com, info@mcbeanlaw.com. Lamara is asking a question about the recent Supreme Court decision that I reported out to you guys on Friday about whether it will affect those with cancellation of removal that is pending based on defective NTA. I don't think that it would. It would necessarily impact you if you have a cancellation of removal case going on, you're in active removal proceedings. The decision on Friday focused primarily, and go back and watch that video because I do go into more details, but in a nutshell, it focuses primarily on people who are making an argument to reopen a removal case in which an immigration judge had issued a removal order in their absence. And folks are now saying, well, we'd like you to reopen that case based on the fact that the first NTA that I received, notice to appear, did not have a date and time on it. And I'd like to reopen the case and have another try, defend myself now and try to get a green card through the court process. But Justice Alito, who wrote the majority opinion, says, well, we're not going to allow a lot of immigrants to be able to do something like that, because what they should have done instead was show up to court and defend themselves and make that kind of argument, because in many cases, individuals received a hearing notice later on, which provided them with the proper notice, the date, time, location, and all of that. And so they should have followed that subsequent notice and show up in court and defend themselves and make that other argument about a defective NTA if there was a defective NTA. So that's what happened there on Friday, okay? Thank you for that. Freedom Now, Freedom Now. Someone says, Willie is asking a question about, he says he's been in the States since 2014 illegally. He's married to a U.S. citizen. She became a U.S. citizen in May of 2023. Do you think this will help me? Maybe it's possible that your spouse can file for you if you are eligible for adjustment of status. But you said that you said you've been here illegally, but how did you enter? I'm curious about your entry, and do you have multiple unlawful entries as well? Those are the things that really gets in the way of people being able to adjust their status through a U.S. citizen spouse. So have an appointment with an attorney with us. We'd be happy to speak with you about your case to see whether your U.S. citizen wife can file for you. Jesse's asking whether we do free consultations. We do not, Jesse, because we have a strong team of attorneys and support staff that are working on cases, and they've got to be paid, and we have bills to pay and taxes to pay, just like one of my colleagues in the field said brilliantly in a video on TikTok recently that I love, that we cannot be able to do what we do for immigrants if we had free services. However, Jesse, we do have some free resources on our website that you could take a look at and download to see if there's something there that could help you. Go to McBeanlaw.com/free and take a look at some of our free guides and materials. Thank you for that. Freedom Now, Freedom Now. Thank you, Freedom Now. Someone says, what about F1 U.S. citizen child case? Mine was filed in 2018. So the July visa bulletin is out, okay? I think last week when I spoke with you, it was also out, but I didn't know that, okay, at the time. So I told you it wasn't out. But the July visa bulletin is out. So I'm going to take a look at it for you so that I could see where they're at with the F1 category. So F1 at this time is still in the year 2015. And you've said here that your case was filed in 2018. So you still have some time to go before it's your turn, okay? So continue to pay attention to the visa bulletin, but do not obsess over it. Pay attention to it. Maybe watch it maybe every 6 months or something like that to see whether there is any movement in your category. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. Thank you for your question. Let's see what else you have. Someone says, 14, Karen says, 14 years I've been married to a US citizen and we have children, and I'm working, but I have a false claim back in 2008. So false claim to US citizenship will block you from getting a green card through your US citizen spouse. And if you have US citizen adult children, it will not work out as well. Freedom now, freedom now. Now, let's see. Clara says that I pulled my husband over from Jamaica. Clara, why you framed it that way? I pulled him out. Pulled him out of Jamaica, right? Pulled him out, okay? We're going through a divorce. And his sister filed for his son. So his sister must have filed for him and the son was attached to that case. Is that possible? She is now a US citizen. Oh, you're asking whether his sister can file for the son. So the sister, US citizen sister, can file for him and attach the child. The only problem with that is that it's a significantly long wait in that F4 category. So the son may potentially age out of the process and won't be able to get that visa to come here. If there's an adoption, it depends on how old the son is. If the son is younger than a certain age, then the son can potentially be adopted by his aunt. And through that process, he could get a green card. However, that adoption cannot be for the purpose of an immigration benefit like a green card. It has to be for other reasons. I don't know if the son's mother is still alive, if the parents are still alive, and there's no really good reason to do the adoption, then immigration will not approve the case. Mohammed, thank you for that. It's good to see you. Thank you, Mohammed. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. Wesley is asking, are there any changes for the 3 and 10-year bar? I have not seen or heard any particular changes aside from what could potentially happen tomorrow that could very well impact the bars. These bars are triggered when you leave America. And so what's being discussed, to my knowledge, to be rolled out tomorrow will help folks to stay here and get a green card. Thus, they will not trigger. Some people may have already triggered it by leaving and coming back, and in which case, then that's a different story. But what they're discussing tomorrow, primarily from what I understand, will impact those who are here who had not yet triggered the bars. But if they did trigger the bar, who knows, maybe it could help them too. We'll see tomorrow. I'll be sure to report back out to you on that front, okay? So stay tuned. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. Someone says, let's see. Do I need to be married to the US citizen to be under the parole? Yes. Freedom now, freedom now. Hey there, Opal. Good to see you. Great question. Is there any power that can stop this this Biden plan? Is there any power? And I've seen your questions about, well, what can Congress do? So certainly Republican states, state attorney generals can sue the government, saying that this is overreach, just like DACA is illegal. Obama overreached. That was 12 years ago that Obama put DACA in place. DACA is still going through the litigation process back and forth and being restricted under the Trump years, but it was still, in effect, and back and forth in the courts. Getting rid of these policies, these changes, is incredibly difficult. It's possible. possible, yes, that a new administration can come in with a lot of force and try to push out, right, some policies that are in place, but it does take time and it can be very complicated. Trump was not successful in doing that for a number of policies that he wanted to wipe away. And so in this instance, Congress is not needed for this. This is 100% executive action. And the Biden administration is doing this only because of politics. He's doing badly right now. And most like, who knows, he's not in the state right now to even lead the country. With someone else, other people, staffers are running America right now. And so, so whether the next administration, if it remains Biden, great, then you wouldn't have to worry so much. But if it's a different administration that's coming in, of course they're going to try to get rid of something like this because it is considered really kind of like an amnesty, right? So but again, very difficult to get rid of policies like this. All right. Freedom Now. Hey there, Wesley. Freedom Now. Thank you. Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for those who are coming in and joining this live session. I'm LaToya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We've already discussed the F1 category for those over 21. Thank you. What about those who overstay their visa? We're going to talk about all of that tomorrow, okay? Thank you. Reno is in the house. Marvin from Reno. Thank you, Rochester. Rochester is in the house, South Africa. Let's get down to some questions. Thank you. Thank you, Malik. Okay, Winston is asking, can you help me? 8 years overstayed my visa. Can you help me to get a residential permit? So there's no such thing as a residential permit. There's something called a work permit, and then there's something called a green card or lawful permanent residence. So Winston, you're gonna have to get a green card. You'll have to maybe meet with us and see whether you're eligible for a green card. As far as a work permit is concerned, it's not a standalone option that you can just get as an person who overstayed his visa all these years. You'll have to be qualified for another type of immigration benefit, and then that benefit is connected to a work permit. All right. I don't have any updates on TPS for Haiti. I really don't. And I've heard through the grapevine, I don't really follow it, just so you know, honestly. I've heard through the grapevine from seeing what other attorneys talk about in their videos that there is, the date has passed for the announcement about the reauthorization. I haven't followed up on that. But if once they do finally make a decision on Haiti, which they should, I don't know what's the delay all about, they'll get it out to you. Thank you. Freedom Now. Freedom Now. Can the U.S. Supreme Court interfere with tomorrow's executive action? Like what, an emergency stay or something like that to go up to the Supreme Court? That's gonna, I don't really think they're gonna really push it that far. Again, this is within executive power to do. Some would argue it is overreaching. Republican states are likely going to challenge this, but I don't think it's going to get as far as maybe an emergency stay to the Supreme Court. Well, we'll see. We'll see if they push it that far, the states. Freedom Now, Freedom Now. Let's see. Let's keep going. I'm scrolling through. I've already answered the question about Haiti. Okay, I don't have any updates for TPS for Haiti. We're still waiting on the announcement. Do I share any information on the waiver process? Haven't seen any of that on your page. Annie is asking, Like, what type of information are you seeking, Annie? And which waiver are you referring to? We do all of the immigration waivers, waivers for the green card, non-immigrant visa waivers. We do that. We do other things. So I'm not sure. We don't have any, I don't have any free materials on waivers. I will tell you that. But it's very complicated. That would take too much time to develop. So I don't have anything like that. I do have some old videos on YouTube that touches on various waivers. So just go through and see what I have on my channel. Over 700 videos. So I reached 700 a few days ago. I said, oh my goodness, now I know how I've been spending the last 7 years of my life. 700 videos. Okay. Someone is asking, by the way, we have been getting some approvals, fast approvals from the National Benefits Center. Someone's asked a question about that. The National Benefits Center has been approving cases in like 3 months, 4 months. Many of the cases that we filed for the April 1st deadline for the fee increase, our clients already have their green card. We're still waiting on others, but a number of our clients have already gotten their green card. Cases are being approved just from the benefits center, not even making its way all the way down to a field office and then wait for an appointment and all of that. They're doing it. They're just doing it. So now that's why I say now is the best time to just get in and get your case filed. Do it now. Thank you very much. Someone says they're in removal, immigration court proceedings for asylum. Is it too late to hire us? It may not be. It might not be too late. It depends on what's going on with your case. If you do have any, if you have an asylum case, if you really do have an asylum case, we could take a look at that. We could see where you're located in the country, what we could potentially do for you. For some people, we try to get them out of court because they don't have an asylum case, and most likely they're going to get a removal order issued by an immigration judge. And so we try to get them out of court. For other people, if they have a good asylum case, we will litigate it, take it all the way until the end. So you could just contact us and see so that we could ask you some questions. Thank you. Freedom Now. Freedom Now. Let's see. Let's keep going. A few more minutes. I have my consultations that are starting in half an hour. We've discussed F1. I'm getting a lot of questions on the F1 category. Leah says that I came here legally, then I went out of status, I applied for asylum, and then my case was sent to the judge, but they didn't have my file, so I'm just here and I need help. So Leah, there has been some disorganization in the administrative process of sending people's cases from USCIS to the immigration court. The system is flooded. There's sometimes these things do happen, so you'll have to wait. And then it sounds like you're waiting on another hearing date, potentially. You could reach out to us so that we could see what's going on with your case. Okay, reach out to us so that we can take a look at that for you. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Someone says, been here 20 years, never applied for DACA. Parents brought, oops, give me a second here, guys. Let me get this back up on the screen for us. Okay, I'm back. Been here 20 years, never applied for this. Never applied for DACA. Parents brought her illegal entry. We not married. I'm a citizen, no criminal record. What if I get married after the order? Girlfriend. Girlfriend has been here for 20 years. Never applied for DACA. Parents brought her here under illegal entry. They're not married. He's a citizen. No criminal record. What if we get married after the order? So this is a question about, well, first of all, it's good that she's been here for at least 10 years, because that's the detail that we do know, that you need to fulfill a residency requirement of 10 years. But as far as you guys aren't, she's not even married. I don't know what the restriction will be in terms of how long married, if they will narrow it to focus on only some people. So I don't know yet. We'll know after tomorrow whether that order can help her in light of the fact that you guys aren't even married yet. But certainly someone who came in, was brought in that way, should be helped by this parole in place. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on one second. Let's see. Let's keep going. Freedom Now. Waiting and hoping for good news. TPS for Haiti. We're waiting on the announcement. Okay, we've talked about DACA already. DACA is kind of tied into what's going to happen tomorrow. So we're going to see how it's going to help those with DACA. Okay, here's a question about VAWA. Okay. Is it possible for VAWA case or cases to take up to 3.5 years to hear back from the government? Yes, you're on track, because that's how long we've been seeing. It's at least 3 years for VAWA. Okay. The I-601 waiver, it depends on the type of case that this waiver is connected to. Is it the waiver was filed here for a case that's being considered here in the U.S., or is it a waiver that was filed for someone overseas? It can take a few months if it's connected to an overseas case. For some cases that are here in the U.S., we've seen approvals connected to adjustment of status cases that has happened, approvals that took place like 4 or 5 months, 6 months, sometimes over a year, though. It depends. It truly depends on the case. Hold on a second. Okay, I've got to jump off momentarily, guys. Got to jump off momentarily. Okay, I've already addressed the super chat comment. I see it here. Thank you. That was you, right? The girlfriend with the illegal entry through her parents and been here 20 years. Yep, we've talked about that. So we'll see tomorrow how that's going to play out, because she's not married to you yet. And they may have some sort of restriction on there with respect to how long you could be married. You should have been married to that U.S. citizen. Janet says that USCIS says 4 weeks for I-130 decisions. Is that accurate? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, nowadays we're seeing 3-4 months approval with adjustment of status. If it's a standalone I-130, it could take 6 to 9 months. That would be more accurate. Where are you seeing that, Janet? The 4 weeks. We have not seen 4 weeks approval for the I-130. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to jump off now so that I could get ready for my consultations. You can reach out to us at McBean Law at 888-462-4006 or at McBeanLaw.com to book an appointment with an attorney. I am very active on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So follow me there, particularly TikTok. I'm staying on track with what's going on with immigration news. So please stay plugged in and see everything that I put out there. Guys, I plan to be back before you, God willing, tomorrow after the announcement to kind of go through things with you and to answer the top 25 questions, okay? The top 25 questions that we've received so far, which we've already prepared ahead of time. So hopefully they do this thing tomorrow. Guys, love you. Thanks so much for being part of this community. And I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Stay tuned. Bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of your day.